season, with Taylor attending a ton of Chiefs games to support Travis. And it seems like they took a step forward over the weekend in London, with Kelce making a surprise appearance on stage with Taylor during her Eras tour at Wembley. I love this so much. And when I woke up Saturday morning, it was every single news outlet, from entertainment to sports to national news, was talking about this. And let this be a reminder to everybody: dream bigger. Because you know how this started? With Travis Kelce making a friendship bracelet with his number on it when Taylor was performing at Arrowhead. Didn't get to meet her. Word got to her. Fast forward to now, they're in love. She wrote a song about him, and then he was on stage and carrying her during a song where she said, "I can do it with a broken heart."
Quite the outfit change. Travis Kelce, a bit of a dancer. So I haven't seen this. I would try to be offline. Listen, when I'm not on the show, and I'm not like,
you turn off. This was everywhere. Saturday
this is the
morning,
first I've seen of this.
This was everywhere, and there was she's very strategic with everything that she does. There's a lot of Easter eggs hidden. And this song, he was carrying her after she had a broken heart.
Wait, what song was this?
It's one of her new ones, and one of her new albums.
Stuff.
So it was very poetic. One of the lines is, "Fake it till you make it. I can do it with a broken heart." And then he literally carries her after a broken heart to bring her back to life. So it was a very beautiful moment. And then look at this. He's backstage with the Prince and Taylor and his kids taking selfies. Travis, setting the example for everybody. Dream big, fall in love. I love love. So I love all of this, and I love Taylor Swift. So
can we go back to the Taylor Swift outfit change on stage? I like that.
Yeah.
I should probably be quiet now. All right, Alex with the news.
Well, that's the news.
Officially here. I woke up singing. Are you familiar with the Lego movie?
Dimly familiar, yeah.
Everything is awesome. Everything is awesome.
I don't know that
Everything,
one.
no?
But yeah.
We're going to keep that going all week because we're going to be here for a bit.
Yeah, I referenced your pink because a staffer on the show told me on Friday, Jason, I was wearing a pink shirt. They're like, "I love how you're in on Pink Fridays." I was like, I didn't know that was a thing here. So that's a thing at Fox now, Pink Friday.
Well, I mean, on Wednesdays, too, you wear pink.
I can wear pink any day.
All day,
I
every
feel
day.
like I look good
Girl
in
dad.
pink.
My dad did, too. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I was in Phoenix this weekend
so you
for a
weren't even
volleyball
here.
tournament. No, and I haven't been to Phoenix since the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Alex, how do people live in Phoenix, Arizona?
It's crazy because I spent about 8-9 years spring training out there, and it's not that hot yet, but even then you're hopping from air conditioning to air conditioning.
The only
you
word
can't
is
survive
oppressive.
outside.
It's brutal. Yeah. So but
kind of
fortunately,
slaps you in the face.
we don't need to talk about heat, but there is some heat going on in Dallas, Alex.
Yes, there is.
It's a problem, and it's legit. Listen, I got to be honest. I've been on the show now for about 2 years, and I'm being brutally honest with you guys. I don't love talking about the Cowboys. Let's be real. We talk about them a lot, and they don't win any Super Bowls. It's like, what are we doing? They are America's team. This time, though, there's genuine smoke in Dallas. A story that just dropped here within the last couple hours on a website called Go Long. It's a football website. The author's Tyler Dunn. He's been on the herd before. He dropped a bit of a bombshell in Dallas that Mike McCarthy is fed up with Jerry Jones. And it has been a brutal offseason for the Cowboys. Listen, they are always the bridesmaid, never the bride. Right? They've won 12 games the last 3 seasons, yet can't get to the conference championship game. They have 4 playoff wins this century, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? And now McCarthy hears his owner, Jerry Jones, say, "We're all in. We are all in," at the beginning of the offseason. And then the offseason happens, and it's crickets. They lose a couple offensive linemen, starters, lose Tony Pollard, and you look around for all the big moves, and it's like 1-year deal for this guy, 1-year deal here. Ezekiel Elliott's coming back as if that's going to excite anyone. And all of a sudden, McCarthy's looking around like, why don't you do more and say less, ownership? And McCarthy's in a bit of a position of power here because Jerry Jones, in his 80s, is at a bit of a breaking point. He's got Dak Prescott in a final year of his contract, McCarthy, final year of his deal. And when your coach is going through a writer to say he's fed up, Jerry, I think you got to do something. Now, there will be some people who see this and are, "Jason, come on, you're making something out of nothing." This is not a nothing burger. I will, as someone who covered the media at a website back in the day, I'll say this. Go look at Tyler Dunn's history. He covered the Packers in Green Bay. You know who their coach was? It was McCarthy. So these two have had a long history together. This is not nothing. McCarthy is clearly ticked off. And I'm going to borrow a line from the great Top Gun. It almost feels like Jerry Jones his mouth is writing checks that his butt can't cash. And when you say we're going all in and you're not at all doing anything, that's a bit of a problem. Remember, Detroit Lions re-signed just about everybody. Detroit Lions added guys on defense. The Eagles added Saquon Barkley, who's going to revamp that offense. And you look around the NFC, everybody's getting better. I don't know that the Falcons are that good, but the Falcons are certainly better than they were a year ago. The Green Bay Packers, who destroyed you in a playoff game, suddenly they're lurking in the NFC as like a potential threat. The Bears got instrumentally better. And you look around the NFC and you're like, geez, is this the beginning of the end? And I got to wonder, if I'm Jerry Jones and I look at that schedule, and we will have it on the screen here for you shortly, the Dallas Cowboys schedule, assuming McCarthy doesn't get a new deal, 5 of the first 7 opponents were playoff teams from last year. That game in Cleveland, they start 0-1, and I think they're narrow underdogs. I believe they could have flipped. That's a troubling game for Dallas. You start out 0-1, you probably win the Saints game, but Ravens, that won't be a cakewalk. Lamar just coming off the MVP last year. Ravens are good. Giants, we know, are a dumpster fire. Steelers, but then Lions by 49ers. And now all of a sudden it's like, what are we? Are we a middling team? And the back end of the schedule does include the Eagles late in the season. Washington, are they on the come up? Game against the Texans. This is not a 12-win team this year. Yes, they're going to be favored in about 11, 12, maybe 13 games. But the Dallas Cowboys, when your coach is going out there through a media member he knows and saying he's fed up, that's a coach angling for a contract. In Dallas, more drama as we head into July here in the next week and camps begin to open, and a lot of questions swirling around those Cowboys. All right, let's pivot to USA Soccer. And folks, I want to start positive. Everybody watch Copa America Sunday. USA picks up the 2-0 victory, 2-0. Sorry for the soccer purists. I'll be positive here. I was at my daughter's volleyball tournament, so I'm watching the game. End up at the hotel bar with some dads. We're watching the game, and U.S. is largely dominating. They get the 2-0 win. They have some more chances, but at the end of the game, it was like, okay, good result. We'll take it. It's a win. But ultimately, I do have some problems. But let's start positive. 3 minutes in, Christian Pulisic, the best player on the U.S. Here's the goal.
Pulisic has it back now through the traffic. Pulisic, what a goal! What a start for the United States!
Spectacular. I don't know what's going on with the haircut there. Maybe Alex can clue us in later. Pulisic, he's got something, maybe a mullet growing. I don't know, but he's phenomenal. We know he's the best player in the U.S. Okay, so now I will, now that we've said a lot of positive things, congrats on the win, 2-0, you get the clean sheet. Ricardo Pepi coming off the bench, looking good. Pepi nearly scored twice. Didn't score, but nearly did. Okay, got that out of the way. So you guys, I've worked here at Fox for about 8 years. Yeah, 8 years this June 1. And, you're in the building, you run into former soccer players, former GMs, coaches. I've expanded the Rolodex, shall we say. So my first thought after the win was, let me text somebody who was at the game, who's an accomplished college soccer player, knows the sport well, coaches it, blah, blah, blah. And I asked, like, hey, what's the read on it? We're like, okay, good result, but, and then there was a litany of problems that this guy saw and that I didn't see. Now, listen, we're facing Bolivia, and Bolivia is terrible, one of the worst teams in the field here. We should have smashed them. This should have been a 5-0 blasting, and it could have been if the ball bounces another way. But you start to poke holes in the game, and in soccer, there's this stat that matters, advanced stat, expected goals, XG. And you look at that, and U.S. was just 2. That's it, against Bolivia. And you look at the possession, and yeah, they control possession, but they didn't dominate control of possession. And they didn't kind of build it up slowly and then strike. It looked like they were forcing the issue. We got to score. We got to impress everybody. And they kept failing. And I like this team a lot. I do believe the talent is there for them to make a run and kind of get to the Copa America semifinals. Finals would be amazing. It's a difficult field with a lot of very good teams. But the other problem is when you don't blow out the weakest opponent, you leave yourself vulnerable for what should happen I don't know, at the end of the group stage. Uruguay, we know, is very good. That game will be difficult. Let's say they tie that game. They will now